Hello, it's Off-Book Movie Summaries speaking. Today I have summarized an action and revenge thriller film titled Peppermint, which was released in 2018. Stay alert. There will be spoilers in my review. Take care. The movie opens with two people fighting in the car. Riley North is fighting with a thug. He slits her leg in self-defense, and Riley picks up the gun and headshots him. Riley hides the body in the car trunk. She then goes back to her place in the ghetto, where she is hiding out. She finds a box of cookies as a gift from an anonymous person among the street girls. Riley uses disinfectants to fix the wounded leg and bandages it to avoid heavy loss of blood. Riley opens the box of cookies, which takes her mind back 5 years earlier. Riley and her daughter, Curly, came out of the shopping mall to buy the birthday party presents. They bump into an angry and arrogant woman named Peg, who starts an argument over parking and says mean things to them. Although Curly suggested that Riley should have punched her in the face, Riley advises against it and tells her that violence is not the solution to every problem. Riley takes Curly to her husband Chris and asks him to take care of Curly's birthday party arrangements, and she runs for work. At the bank where Riley works, her boss insists she work extra hours despite her telling him that it's Curly's birthday. The manager informs her that the other workers didn't show up. Moments later, Chris is approached by a guy named Mickey, who presents him with a deal to rob the drug cartel. Chris seems reluctant. Mickey convinced him that the money would make a better life for Riley and Curly. To Riley's disappointment, when she returns home, she finds out that no one came to their daughter's party because all the kids went to Peg's holiday party, which she organized on purpose. Riley uplifted Curly's spirits when she suggested that they go to pizza and the Christmas carnival to have a great time. Curly gets excited as well, and Chris promises to make things better next time. Chris decides to call Mickey and turns down the deal because he can't put his family at risk. Unknown to them, a gang member named Cortez is keeping an eye on Chris. When the family leaves for the carnival, Cortez calls and reports his whereabouts to the boss, Diego Garcia, who is torturing Mickey for stealing his money. Garcia wants them dead and should send a loud message to anyone who crosses his path. While Chris and his family enjoy themselves and have great times at the carnival. That instant, 3 of Garcia's men arrived in the car. Chris and his daughter are walking towards their vehicle when the gunmen open fire on them. Chris and his daughter die instantly, and Riley is shot and falls down. When the hitmen have left, Riley picks herself up and runs to her family, holding her diseased daughter in tears. The paramedics arrived, and Riley was taken to the hospital. To launch the investigation, 2 homicide detectives, Carmichael and Moises, arrive at the crime scene, and Carmichael feels so touched upon seeing Curly's body. Months later, Riley wakes up from the coma in the hospital, and Carmichael asks for her help in identifying the suspects they have in custody, or they will be released unconditionally if she doesn't. Riley overhears Carmichael saying that Chris was killed because he was planning to steal money from a drug dealer named Diego Garcia. Given that Chris abandoned the deal, the rumors spread. Riley cries when she is given the family picture they took at the carnival before the shooting. She tells Carmichael that she remembers the shooters. Riley identified the 3 of Diego Garcia's men as they lined up when she went with the detective. Moises cautions his partner, Carmichael, about pursuing Diego Garcia because every detective who tried to pursue him has turned up missing in the past, not to mention Garcia's influence in the police and the justice system. He suggests that they distance themselves from the case. Riley was evicted from the house, and she packed her belongings, but she got emotional with Curly's drawings on the wall. Just then, Henderson, the counsel for the accused, walks inside her house and tries to convince Riley to take the bribe in exchange for dropping her case against Garcia's men. She rejects his offer and orders him to get out. He notices her antipsychotic medication, insinuating that her memory is hazy and she does not remember anything. Riley angrily rejects the money and pushes him outside. During the court proceedings, Henderson keeps on questioning Riley about her antipsychotic medication, leading the judge Stevens to doubt her credibility. Riley seeks help from her lawyer, but the attorney doesn't care. The judge rules in favor of the accused. Riley gets overwhelmed and starts to yell at the judge. Out of anger, she runs to the killers of her family, but she gets tasered by the officer. She is referred to mental health programs by the judge. Immediately, the officers take her to the ambulance, where she hits the officers and runs away. Weeks later, Moises and Carmichael are called to the crime scene to investigate the killing of 3 Garcia men. Killed and hanged on the poles. Moments later, FBI agent Lisa meets Carmichael and Moises and informs them that a few days ago, Riley robbed the military weapons store using the 15 grand she stole from the bank where she worked before disappearing. Lisa is now convinced that Riley was involved in the killing after preparing herself for several years to exact retribution on those who are responsible for her family's murder. Riley sneaks into Judge Stevens' home. She ties him up and nails his hands to the table. She confronts him, asking if he remembers her. But he has a long history of corruption and can't remember anything about her. She picks up the toy from the display and moves out. Once Riley sits on the bus, she detonates the bomb, blowing up Judge Stevens' house and causing the explosion that kills him. Carmichael is informed about Riley's actions, as she went on a killing spree and killed lawyer Henderson just after the killing of the district attorney by using explosives. Diego Garcia, the drug dealer, discovers that Riley has killed his business associates, and the lawyer, in response, orders Cortez to put her head on the spike. Riley destroyed the 2 drug containers in 1 week, and now Garcia is starting to get threats from his drug suppliers. As Riley goes home, she meets a young boy on the bus and gives him the toy she took from the judge's house. But she notices that his father is a drug addict and neglects him. She goes after him in the store, threatens him with her gun, and orders him not to drink again and never to neglect his son again. She goes on and orders the retailer not to sell any alcohol to him again. Moments later, Riley trails Marvin, an employee of Garcia who is involved in laundering money with the cartels in the downtown store. She pretends to be a poor woman when she comes across 2 men at the gate and kills them to gain entry to the store. Riley is in the news everywhere. When the gang members identify her, they start shooting at her. Riley shoots in response and eliminates each member of the gang one by one, sparing Marvin because she needs some information about Diego Garcia after interrogating him. She burns the entire shop and all the money in it. Marvin informs Garcia about it, who becomes angry that Marvin revealed their business plans to Riley. Riley's action makes headlines in the mainstream media and generates theories on social media. Lisa, Moises, and Carmichael investigate the burned-out warehouse in downtown. But Carmichael doesn't think Riley has the capabilities to carry out such a plan. Carmichael says that he will contact the narcotics division to find any intel on Garcia's locations. Curiously, Lisa becomes intrigued by Riley's hiding place, where she has been for the last few months, after realizing that he disclosed his business plans and the laboratory to her. Garcia killed Marvin. He has found a solution to killing Riley by setting her on fire. Lisa and Carmichael go to the crime analysis division. They're surprised to see that Riley has gained significant public support on social media platforms. Lisa identified the low crime area from the past few months as the place for Riley's hideouts. She makes it her mission to find her. Riley enters the laboratory and finds out that the bombs and the tripwires are there. Garcia's men are hiding outside and waiting for her presence. The instant she realized that it was a trap, she quickly evaded detection and hid in the safe spot when the bomb detonated, destroying the building. Garcia's men leave the place and call Garcia with excellent news about the killing. However, Riley emerges from the sewer tank, steals the car, and drives after them. She kills them both after blocking the road. The moment Garcia watches the news, he realizes that she is still arriving because one witness saw her steal the vehicle. Riley infiltrates Garcia's building behind the truck and eliminates bodyguards along the way. She walks inside the building and shoots everyone in her line of sight. That instant, when she cornered Garcia, his daughter came out. This obstructed Riley because she reminded her deceased daughter Curly, which stopped her from shooting. Garcia stabs her and escapes with his men and the daughter while police arrive. Riley escapes as well and goes straight to Peg's house, punching her out. Riley ties her up to the chair and mocks her for her failed marriage, not to mention how her husband left her and went with another young and beautiful woman. Riley takes Peg's car and does disappear. Lisa leads Carmichael downtown, showing him Riley's vehicle, and no one can touch it because everyone takes her as their savior. Lisa aims to catch Riley alive and use her to obtain information about Garcia and his suppliers. However, she suspects someone is tipping off Garcia. Carmichael shoots Lisa, revealing himself as the one who has been tipping Garcia all along. The dirty detective tells Garcia about Riley's location, and he brings all his goons to encircle the street. Riley comes across Garcia's right-hand man, Cortez, and kills him with his assistant. Lisa's lifeless body was found by Riley, and then she used her mobile to live stream, exposing Carmichael as the corrupt detective. She invites every concerned citizen to the area. Garcia notices that she is in a hideout, and he calls her using the radio, ordering her to surrender using the girl from the ghetto as the negotiating chip. Riley complies, but when Garcia starts to beat her up, she secretly retrieves a gun from the ground. The moment the police arrive, Garcia shoots and kills Carmichael, believing that he betrayed him to the authorities. Garcia escapes, but Riley catches up with him, beats him, and prepares to shoot him, but Moises intervenes and convinces her that she should stand down and let the law prevail, promising that Garcia will face a significant amount of time in prison. But Riley is sick and tired of the justice system. She tells Moises that no one is going to prison because Garcia will buy himself out, and she shoots Garcia. The police open fire on Riley, but Moises orders them to cease fire. Moments later, Moises finds Riley badly wounded and tired while lying on her family gravestone. Moises takes her to the hospital. Next, the police chief appears on the news, declaring that Riley North will be held accountable for the crimes she committed when she went on a killing spree. That evening, Moises goes to the hospital to visit Riley, but she remains under police supervision at the hospital. He reveals to her that there are many people, including the police officers, who support her actions. He then secretly passes her a key and walks away. Finally, Riley escaped from the hospital. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more of my videos. Have a good day.